Everyone, it's Joy from the Denver, Colorado area. It is a nice warm September day here. I wonder what the weather is where you are. So, just say hello and tell me where you're from and what your weather is like there. So, you are going to be seeing, I think, a lot of this autumn leaves bundle today because it just speaks autumn, and it's so beautiful, and it's from the new mini catalog, the September to December mini catalog. It is on, let's see, it's part of a suite, and it starts on pages 42 and 43 and then goes to 44, so you can see a large image of the stamp set. So it has all these wonderful things in the suite. I will not be using all of them, but I will be using several of them today. You can also find our bundles in the back of the mini catalogs, all listed, with their dies or punches. So I hope you've gotten your copy. If you have not gotten your copy of this fabulous mini catalog, please talk to the demonstrator that invited you. So let's see, I'm also going to be using the All About Autumn 6x6 Specialty Designer paper. And I think in the United States it's currently out of stock, but it's supposed to be coming in next week. So we are all looking forward to that. So let me see if I can find myself, make sure I'm in the group and everything. I have my computer sitting next to me. So while I'm kind of waiting for that to refresh, I'm going to show you some of these beautiful papers. So we have all these 12 different designs of all these kind of fall scenes. And then, this is kind of like sweaters, which is all warm and cozy. And then we have some wood grain, and we have another kind of fall corduroy pattern, leaves, and I love books. I don't know if anyone else loves books, but these books are very nice. And then some more leaves, and then kind of like a leather ottoman, and then some more books. But then on the back side, oh my goodness, look at this shimmer and shine. So you have all these great either solid or kind of these kind of tile patterns here with the copper foiling running through them. I hope you can see that on camera. It is just stunning. So both sides of this I really like. And let me see if again, I'm going to check the computer here to make sure I came up. And I am not seeing myself. I hope I'm in the right group. Yes, I see people are watching, and so I believe I am in the right group. So I am just going to carry on. Along with this in this suite is this oxidized copper 12x12 paper. I think Leanne showed you some of this. It is gorgeous as well. Of course, it kind of sealed back up on me. You have the copper with the pretty peacock, and then you also have the copper, let's see, behind here. And this, both of these are, just gorgeous. It looks great on camera, I'm sure, but it looks even better in person. So let's go ahead and, yeah, I don't know what's going on today, but I can't see myself, so I will I will comment to your comments later on. You have the All About Autumn Leaves. It is a photopolymer set, so it is the see-through set. And then you have all these beautiful dies that Leanne showed you, and so I'm going to be using a few of these today, a few leaves. And one of these pieces that, cuts out the sentiment. Let's put those back in there so I don't lose them. And then I'm going to show you a little peek of my project. So this is the project that I made. And I got the idea to, split it like this from another demonstrator at Backstage. I'm not sure who she got it from, but it's really fabulous because you can take your 6x6 sheet of paper and, kind of an all-over pattern works, but even some of the other ones with the seams work really well for this technique. And you cut them down to 3 by 3 inches, or I believe the closest to that is 7.5 by 7.5 centimeters. And yes, I'm going to try to give you the dimensions in both imperial and metric just because I'm an overachiever. It is not required, but I just felt like being a little bit of an overachiever today. So we have a card base that is 5.5 by 8.5 and then scored at the 4 1/4. So the equivalent in your I believe it's A4 size is 14.9 by 21 and then scored at 10.5. So we don't need this little sticky anymore. So I can just fold this in half because it's already been scored. I'm going to fold this in half. Kind of bring in my bone folder to kind of give that a nice crease. So that's our card base. And then I have a little baggie with all my pieces so they don't get lost. So I'm going to bring out these two pieces and my little 3 by 3 piece of the designer series paper. And I need my paper trimmer. So I'm going to bring that in. I love our paper trimmer. It is just so wonderful. It has inches here, and then it has centimeters up at the top on this one. And also the ruler that extends out. So we have this, and I'm going to, let's see, I think it goes this way. I don't know that it really matters that much. So I'm going to bring it over here, and I have a 1 inch on this side and a 1 inch on this side. So I'm bringing it over here to my 1 inch here. I'm going to trim off 1 inch, and then I'm going to bring it in, and I've got the 1 inches right here. I'm going to put it in between the two right here. So there I have my pieces. One thing you do need to do is you need to kind of keep them in order for this technique. So as you can see, they all line up like that. And then I'm going to bring in a piece of 3 1/4 inches by 4 1/4 inches, or 8 centimeters by 11 centimeters. And I'm going to bring in some of the multi-purpose liquid glue. This one goes on the bottom, so I'm just going to put a little glue close to the edge, but not touching the edge because this glue spreads a lot. Make sure, yes. And then this kind of goes here with leaving an even border around 3 sides. And then I need my top one. Yes, making sure. I always try to double check myself. Try to get this even and straight with 3 inches. Oh, and this is a very vanilla piece. Oops, it just slipped on me, but that's okay because this is the multi-purpose liquid glue, or green glue like some people like to call it, because of the green cap ends. And then this piece goes on, making sure too that lines up with just a little bit of a gap. You can decide how much of a gap you want, but you have a space down here, and this is a way to kind of stretch out this 3 by 3 so that you get you can get 4 cards out of a piece. And this is copper clay. This is a matted layer that goes behind this. And it is 3.5 by 4.5 or 8.5 by 11.5. See if I can get that little Post-it notes tape off of there. Now this, I don't want to put this on yet because I need to play with ribbon. Oh, and this is Pretty Peacock. So we've got Pretty Peacock. This is not copper clay. This is Cajun Craze. Sorry, Cajun Craze. Pretty Peacock, Cajun Craze, and Very Vanilla. So copper clay would work as well, but this is Cajun Craze. I thought it went a little bit better. It was a little bit brighter somehow. Anyway, so let's put these pieces out of the way. We need this piece and we need ribbon. And I am just going to bite the bullet and let you see me how I fuss with the bows with this. This is part of the Copper and Natural Ribbon Combo Pack, which is part of the suite. And so you get 2 spools of ribbon, 5 yards in each. And speaking of ribbon, don't forget that when you place an order with the demonstrator that invited you, you will get a 1-inch, the equivalent of a 1-inch amount of ribbon with your order with your demonstrator that invited you. So let's see, we need to just attach this. That's right. I'm doing this bow just a little bit differently than I do sometimes. So I have 2 pieces that are approximately 5 3/4 inches or 14.5 inches. And then of the burlap, I have a 3.5-inch piece or approximately a 9-inch piece, a 9-centimeter piece. Sorry, 3.5 inches, 9 centimeters. I don't normally work in the metric, so forgive me if I blunder a little bit. Whoop. So we have this piece that we're going to attach to the back of our cardstock. And I'm very proud of myself for not forgetting to put the ribbon on in the right order. I often do that. If you guys have seen many of my videos, you have seen me be like, oh, wait a minute, let's back that up. But today I seem to be doing all right. And then we need to put this piece on there, and we're going to tie this piece, the copper piece, around the wide burlap piece. So just going to, yes, my hands get very nervous on camera. So it looks like it's harder than it is, but it's really very simple to do this. Okay. Here we go. So this will just kind of bunch up this piece. So we're going to kind of pull that tight. And we're going to make a full knot with this. So we're going to make another knot. And I've left things a little bit longer than I need them. Okay, so we have this piece and this piece. And, you know, you just fiddle and play with it until you get it the way you want. Oops, I think I had it off camera for a minute. So just kind of fiddle and play with it until it is how you want. It does not need to be perfect. And then I'm going to wait to trim that until I get a little more pieces on there, because this does tend to fray. So we're going to have an ugly bow for a minute while we finish the rest. And we can move this up because this is a little more in line with our little gap there. So now I can attach this to my Cajun Craze piece. And again, using this multi-purpose liquid glue, Get it close to the edge, but not at the edge, because it does ooze when you flatten it. Just leaving an even border around. This is what we call, this leaves an 1/8 of an inch border around, but we cut it at 1/4 of an inch larger on each side to get that 1/8 of an inch border. So let's see, I think I need a couple little glue dots here. So I'm just going to take them off with my Take Your Pick tool and slip one underneath this bow here to keep it in place. Oh, I think I want it to go this way. So keeping that in place there. And I might want one more little glue dot to go kind of under here to hold this ribbon down a little better. So that's another great thing to use your Take Your Pick tool for. And let's see, oh, I have just a scrap piece of the Very Vanilla, and I'm going to bring in Pretty Peacock ink. And my Autumn teaches us that change can be beautiful. You know, I think Leanne said it, sometimes change is hard for us, but not when we see the beautiful changing of the leaves. So I'm just going to stamp that as a practice a couple times. Oh, I know what I need. I need my piercing mat, because this is a photopolymer set and it will stamp a little bit better with this foam that is the piercing mat, and just a scrap piece of paper that I've used for something else, but the back side is still good. Let's try that one more time. This will give us a slightly better image. Just stamping that on there. Closing up our ink pad for now so we don't get ink where we don't want it. And then via the magic of video, I already have one that I have die cut with that wonderful square die cut that comes in the Autumn Leaves die set. And I've already gone ahead and put dimensionals on the back of that. So we have that ready to go on here. And I could just use my Take Your Pick tool to get some of these backings off of here. It works really great, especially for people who have long nails that you know, don't want to cooperate with their card making. So this, oh, I need some leaves on there. Oops, I need to do that first. So I've also taken a 1-inch strip of that beautiful 12 by 12 paper, and I have die cut out some leaves. And in that die set, don't know if you've noticed, but you get 2 of each of these leaf dies so that you can go ahead and cut multiples at a time. Well, let me just, I'm going to use glue dots for this. Use a couple of glue dots here. I need one on each end of this. Oop, that one went in the wrong place. Well, let's just do another one. Oh, I have one there too. Okay, I have multiples on there. So then this can just go along about here along the ribbon, just kind of peeking out from the other ribbon. And then these are going to go behind. So let's do glue dots for those as well. Oh, I got a stray glue dot here. Get a glue dot on the back of each of these. And let's see, we need one coming up about here, I think. And one kind of going off the edge a little bit. And then this piece will go on here, lining up this edge with the edge of the designer series paper. Trying to get this straight since I have a camera up by my head so you can see my table in a better angle. And I need some dimensionals on the back of this whole completed layer here. I'm going to get out the big ones this time. The regular size dimensionals versus the minis that I used on the other sentiment piece. And yes, I like lots of dimensionals so that we don't have any saggy metals. So I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool again to get some of those off. I think I got all of those off. And bring in my card base, my Pretty Peacock card base. And I will be fixing that frayed ribbon here in a minute. So just kind of eyeballing this onto your card base in a way that you like it. Fiddle with this ribbon just a little bit more. So yeah, I think it doesn't match the other one exactly, but I think it's still beautiful. Let's just do this way. I think I'm gonna like it this way this time. And now let's bring in my ribbon scissors. Yes, I have a sign, it's kind of faded, that says ribbon only. That is so people do not attempt to cut cardstock with this. So I'm just going to trim this at an angle. It would keep it from fraying quite so much. And then trim the other side to match. And then I'm going to just trim off the copper ribbon. And so there you have a nice little ribbon made with both of the ribbons that come in the ribbon pack. And now we have a beautiful outside, but we need a beautiful inside. So I have a piece of Very Vanilla. Yes, again, here's my little baggie that I put everything in to keep it all in one place so that hopefully I don't lose anything. And we have this Very Vanilla that I have cut at, let's see, it would be 4 inches by 5 1/4 inches, or I think the equivalent for you guys would be about 10 centimeters by 14.4 centimeters. So there we have this piece, and we are going to bring our Stampin' Pierce mat back in. And we're going to take these stamps. I'm going to use this stamp from the set. You're going to, Leanne showed you how gorgeous this is together. So we're again just using the Pretty Peacock ink. And I'm going to get that all over that piece, that stamp. Make sure I get it nice and coated. Get a good amount of ink on there. and then I'm going to stamp off just a little bit, and then I'm going to stamp on. So I want this to be a little bit faded, and I want to make sure that the ink kind of absorbs into the paper in all areas. So I'm kind of walking my stamp a little bit. Hold it on there so the ink absorbs into the paper. Beautiful. Now I need the vines with the same Pretty Peacock ink. And I'm just going to line that up. Move that into camera a little bit more. And kind of line up these veins on this set. It's a little bit hard, like I said, because I've got a camera over my table here. So hopefully that's all straight. And this was full strength. Oh, beautiful. Look at that. I just love how they go together like that. So now we have this beautiful leaf for the inside of our card. I'll just use some of the Stampin' Seal. And put this right in here. Like so. So now we have a beautiful outside and a beautiful inside. With this bow. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. I thought it was crooked for a minute, but I think it's okay. Oops. See, I turned it, and you've got a little bit of fraying here. So just take your nice, sharp scissors. Just kind of cut off those fuzzies a little bit. And the beautiful thing about this ribbon is if you wanted a frayed look, it would be very easy to do. There you have it, my beautiful autumn card with the beautiful All About Autumn Specialty Designer Series paper. And I want to point out one thing. Somebody was showing me for good card design, it is good to have some repeating within that design. So as you can see, I have repeated the Pretty Peacock. You have the card base, you have the ink here, and then you have the Pretty Peacock in this gorgeous paper. And then you kind of have the copper color with the Cajun craze, and then the copper ribbon, and then you have some copper tones within the leaves there. So that is just another little tip to make excellent cards. So please be sure to place any orders you wish with the demonstrator that invited you to this group. And don't forget about the ribbon special if there's anything you would like to order. I think several of us, like I said, are going to be using this gorgeous autumn leaf set, but we will all have different styles, so you will see a lot of uses for this. So up next is Chrissy. She'll be up in about half an hour. And until then, I'm going to sign off for now, and I will see you next time. Bye.